Hi guys, and welcome to another video between Vegan and Frodo. So we're outside again, walking around in Brisbane, and I'm sorry my hair's wet, but it just needs to dry out, which is why it's all out like that. Anyway, I just thought I'd catch you up of what is going on, like what's happening with me, what's been going on lately, and I thought I'd make an interesting video out of it because I have been doing something that is somewhat helpful and interesting, I think, for other people. So I'm currently in the process of looking for a new bike, and that is not because my Defy is no good. I think Defy is freaking brilliant and beautiful, and I love that giant, and I'm not getting rid of it at all. I'm just gonna fix it up, but rims are getting really worn out on it, so the wheels, and the shifters are like super duper worn out, and as I have said before, like I needed to exchange it, so I looked into that, and then I'm also wanting to get an upgrade on my componentry. So right now I'm using ped brakes on my Giant, so I would like to go to disc brakes, and at the same time I'm using 9-speed Sora, the whole drivetrain, and it'll be excellent to have a drivetrain which is just a little bit more of a level up, especially that I'm getting more into Everesting and things like that. And it's great to kind of start off with Sora and Giant and things like that. Well, Giant Defy, because Giant has a lot of bikes, right? But like start off with something like simpler and entry level, and then move into something that is a lot more, you can say professional, but it does depend on the kind of users that you want to put your bike through. So basically for me, I do lots of long distance, right? Well, I don't think that's like a surprise. Oh, there's music over there. But like I do lots of long distance, but I also need something that's light enough for hills, for climbing, and that's super important to me. That it's not like so stupid that I can't use it. And man, it's like so noisy here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I had no idea that it'll be this noisy. I should walk somewhere else. Super duper noisy. Do you want to walk? Anyway, do you want to check it out? Since the video hasn't been running for too long just yet, let's go look what's going on. This is Brisbane anyway. This is like centre of Brisbane. It is first day of winter. My hair's doing crazy shit. Apologizing for that. Check that out. This is the kind of vibe you get in the centre of Brisbane. Some live music in the background. I'm just gonna walk past it so you can hear me better. Okay. Alright. Let's get into it. So there are a few bikes that I'm looking at the moment. So obviously it would have been nice if we could all afford titanium frame curves, but 5,000 bucks for a bike or 6,000 bucks for a bike is not like an ideal. Well, I mean it's great, but I can't quite afford that right now. So we're not going with that, even though I looked at it and even look at second-hand curves. That's alright, it's alright, one step at a time. And curve comes with discs and ultegra as well, so that'd be like the top-notch kind of thing that I would want for what I'm doing, but that's right. Don't have that just yet. So what I'm looking at aluminium. Really, I'm not looking into carbon bikes, because yes, carbon is super light, and I actually just rode a carbon bike, but it's when you're going out riding or touring, like carbon can fail, and you don't want your bike somewhere in the middle of freaking nowhere getting a little crack and no one knowing how to fix it. Like even though you can still ride it, but it's like you're more likely to ride your aluminium frame or alloy frame versus when it has like a tiny little crack. Not that frame should break or crack, but sometimes it happens, especially when you're traveling. And when you have your carbon, right, like carbon sometimes fails. And yes, it's super duper light, but at the same time when you're gonna put weight on your bike with the brakes, pinions, saddlebag, whatever you're doing, like it's gonna be a lot of stress on that carbon as well. So you're just a lot more comfortable going with alloy, titanium or steel frame. So in terms of, so I'm going disc brakes instead of ped brakes, because like the ped's been just really wearing out the rims, and it was like a good starting point. It's definitely much easier to change them yourself as well when you need to replace your brakes, but it's fine. So the bikes that I've been looking at, actually I was really considering getting Specialized Diverge or Specialized Sequoia. And because like it's basically, what is it, June 2017, like all of last season's bikes are freaking all out. Hey, like there's not even, because I am size 54 in a frame, and that is basically the size of the top tube of your bike, which is like your reach, how far is it for you to reach to the handlebars. See, that's like another helpful thing that came out of this whole thing of me looking for a new bike and kind of testing out, test riding bikes that belong like to other people, just to see what that frame feels like, what carbon feels like, what 56 frame feels like. And I would actually like recommend it to other people if you're looking for a bike and like you don't need it right this second, but you have some time as leverage to check out what's out there. It's very, very different. But I took a 56 frame Focus, I don't remember which model it was, but it was like one of the racer ones, and it was 56, and the reach was like 385 centimeters, millimeters, not centimeters. So like it was, yeah, but it was just like, it was too long. I took it out for like literally like a few minutes because it was also dark and he was like shaking. It was like a 5K freaking $5,000 bike and he was shaking and watching me ride it. So I only rode it for a little bit and it was like it was dark. It was like 6 p.m. So that was like way too long, and you feel it, like you feel it. If you know your height, whatever your height you are, you can basically on most bike manufacturers' websites, you can figure out which frame is best suited for you. So if you look at my height, which is like 170 centimeters, 167 sometimes, I don't know how this happens, but sometimes you get that height, sometimes you get the other height. I think it just like depends how straight you're standing. I kind of go for 53, 54 medium frame. So getting like a large frame or a small frame is just, it's not ideal. Like it's not good. You're not going to enjoy riding that bike that's the wrong size for you, and it's just like going to be a massive waste of money, even though it might seem like a good deal when you're buying it second hand of somebody. So definitely like measure and get the bike that's the right size. But okay, quickly, since it's like 7 minutes, I've already been talking about it. Like I've been doing this for the last like 2 or 3 weeks, just researching into it, testing out different bikes, different models and things like that. So I have accumulated a bit of stuff, a bit of knowledge about it. Which I thought was interesting. But basically we're looking at Specialized Diverge, which is like less racy, more long distancey kind of bike, which is aimed at endurance, durability. Then you have Specialized Sequoia, and the cool thing with Sequoia is that the wheels, you know, your front and the back wheel, and the spokes on all sides of the wheels, all 4 spokes are exactly the same length, and they did it by adjusting its disc brakes. So they did it by adjusting, kind of doing some work with the hubs and the discs and things like that. But obviously, so basically if you were to go touring on that bike, you can just take one type of spoke, and there's the people that are walking by. Yeah, pretty random. Hey, some chick renting on bikes in the middle of the city. But anyway, so like if you were to go touring and take that one type of spoke, like you only need that one type of spoke because it can fix like any side, but usually it's like 2 or 3 different types, lengths, and it's not that it like you can't fix it without it, you can't ride it without that spoke. But if you were touring and one of them broke, like it's like a specific length and they're all just like a few millimeters difference, but there's like thread at the bottom, and it either won't reach enough or it'll be like too long and it'll be like whatever. So that's like a cool thing about Sequoia. That's Specialized Sequoia, and they're if you're looking at aluminium frame, they're about like $3,000. And there was Specialized Diverge that was sold in one of the shops here in Brisbane that I was looking at, but it was the wrong frame size, so that was like $3,000 as well. So that's where you're kind of looking at alloy frame, Specialized. In fact, like I looked at different componentry, right, and that's also with 105, not with ultegra. So like ultegra would be really, really cool, and you can definitely like buy it online and get it all switched over, but it would be like an extra 800 or 1,000, I think, if you were to buy a bike or change over your bike. Like for example, if I wanted my Giant to get an ultegra, I'll have to buy like the whole kit, and basically replace it, and that would cost like a few $100, like basically $1,000, and then you add some new wheels on top of that, and that's like $400 or something, right? And it's like $1,200. You might as well just like, it's almost a new bike. So you might as well just buy like a bike and fix this one up with the componentry level like that it's on there. So basically I'll be fixing up my Sora and fixing up my wheel and wheels, and still having that bike as a commuter. So a good option, a good cheapy option for long distance, for riding, for touring, I think right now, out of all that I have looked at in terms of having a cheap but discs and 105 or ultegra, is Norco Surge. So Norco Surge, in fact I'm looking at the 2017 model. It's like a cyclocross bike, but geometry is very, very similar to my Giant Defy. So like I know I'm gonna enjoy, like I'm used to this the kind of geometry that's on my Giant, so it's gonna be really good, like, and easy for me to swap around. And then it's gonna be 105. The disc brakes are like amazing on it. I did take it for a test ride. The discs are insane on it. It's just like freaking instant response. And not just because it's like brand new, it's because they're disc brakes, and I find the disc brakes are just like much faster response than on pad brakes basically. And it's seriously, it's like $2,000 for that kind of componentry. With Specialized, if you were to go with Specialized, you'll be paying $3,000. So it's like you're paying an extra $1,000 for, yes, slightly adjusted geometry, but I actually like Norco's geometry. It's like you're paying $1,000 for a brand, and yes, it's like super duper cool to get a Specialized bike, but like if you get the same kind of componentry, you know, with the 105 and the disc brakes, like why, and alloy frame, why not just go for Norco? So that's what I'm thinking of going with for the next bike in terms of an upgrade. My third bike will be another upgrade, obviously, from what I'll be riding at the time, which will be Norco, but we'll get to that in another like year, I think, a year and a bit, just to see where we're at in terms of fitness and what we by we I mean me think we need in terms of getting the goals and meeting the goals and the things that we're doing. Anyway, there's my little rant. It's 12 minutes already, so it's not so little, but this is what I'm at. If you're looking into buying a new bike or upgrading, I really suggest to obviously know what is the right size bike for you. Like if you're 180 centimeters, I think 56 frame size is good. You just like seriously go on like any bike manufacturer's website, and they have like tables of what is the size of the frame that you need versus like your height kind of thing. And yeah, basically go and test ride a few different bikes. If the bike feels good when you're on it, like it doesn't matter if it's like might be an amazing deal and loads of like money saved or whatever, like amazing componentry, but if the frame doesn't feel good, what's the point of getting it if you're not going to enjoy riding it, if you're not going to take it out? And the reason why you might not ride it is because like, I don't know, like your shoulders are in pain, or you're stretched out too much, so like back of your arms are like sore, like, because like that's what I noticed when I did a 56 frame, that I was just like, yeah, it feels cool, it's a freaking carbon, but it's just, I was way too stretched out, and after like getting off after 5 minutes, I could really feel it that I was riding the wrong size bike. So it's quite interesting. So I would definitely recommend just to trying out different kinds of bikes, you know, try carbon, try disc brakes, try pad brakes, whatever, like 105, Ultegras, Soras, like most people go with Sora Tiagra in the beginning, and just see what that feels like, figure out what you need it for, basically if you're a beginner or more of a like an advanced kind of version that you need with advanced type of components, whether you'll be like doing loads and loads of climbing and stuff. And there's another thing, but it's like a whole other video, is looking at cassettes, because Norco and just the 105, it can fit 32 cassette, but they're like bike shoppers like refusing to put 34 cassette on my bike, which is annoying. So I'm gonna buy my own cassette, which is gonna be actually a mountain bike 34 tooth cassette, and I'm just gonna chuck it on because I know I'm gonna be doing hills, and that's one of the reasons I'm getting the bike. So this is happening. Anyway, once I get it, I'll try to do like, I'll do like a little overview. I said I was gonna try to do some videos in the bike shops, but I don't know if that will happen. But I'll definitely do a video and show you all the components and things once I get the bike itself. So, hope this video was informative and interesting. Sorry I kind of blurted out all the information out at you. Hopefully you picked up something that's new or you know, I'll definitely should do a more organized video on this subject because it is a really cool, interesting subject, and maybe discuss all the different bikes that are out there right now for touring in terms of a road bike, ideally, because like I really do like riding road bikes, not touring specific bikes. I don't want something too heavy, but I want something that, you know, has all the componentry but it's durable enough to get me where I want to go, which is the next tour. But I won't talk about it just yet because I haven't even confirmed that I have time off for it. But anyway, I'm like so excited, and it is getting somewhat chilly in Brizzy and I should go back to work. But awesome seeing you guys. Hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day and enjoy this little rant. We're just in the center of Brisbane. There's loads of people around me, but that's what you get. And I'll see you again soon. Remember to stop counting calories, start counting hills, count your inches, count your passions. Thanks for watching again. Bye.